Thank you, Oil Trough Fire Department.
We are Chaos Divers, a sonar search and recovery dive team who navigates the waters with the hopes of providing answers to the families and loved ones of the missing. With the love and support from all of you, as well as the backing of law enforcement and first responders, we've been able to assist families nationwide. To learn more how you can help us on our journey, please check out the description below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you. As many of you know, Miss Belva Day went missing from her home in Mountain Home, Arkansas on February 6th. She was tracked via cameras, security cameras, and ring cameras all the way to Southside, Arkansas. Chaos Divers came in and searched for 3 days for her, mostly focusing on the White River and then ponds along the different routes following 167 and 367. We searched all the way from Southside, Arkansas, all the way down to Searcy, Arkansas.
I'm not putting a boat into this, especially when it says obstructions 4,800 feet. In 4,800 feet. So we're taking the drone. It's clear enough where we can actually see. So we're just checking to see if there's any vehicles in here. When we come back, if the water is a little bit more calm, then we'll put the boat in. But right now, it's, you can see on the drone, it's not very fun. So yesterday we searched Batesville boat ramp and the area around it, the bridge all the way up to where the slough comes off of there. Didn't see anything there. Today we're searching below the dam. I'm not for sure exactly what this boat ramp is called. Do you, Lindsay?
It just says boat ramp on the map.
So below the boat ramp, below the dam, by the Batesville wastewater treatment plant, he's looking at the water. He could see objects in there. It's actually super clear, clearer than what it was yesterday. So the reason why it's dirty is Black River goes into White River and just makes it horrible. So anyway, that intersection downriver, down by Newport, is just nasty water, but this is crystal clear water. So he's looking at it to see if he can see any, like the top of a car or the bottom of a car or something.
There's a lot of levee breaks coming out.
On the maps, it does show that there's wing dikes up here.
Yeah.
So that's the obstruction
on
they're
this
talking
north
about.
bank.
I've seen several of them in the 2,000 feet that I went up to.
I'm not comfortable putting the big boat in this current with all the obstructions and the wing dikes, not knowing where they're at. If the water calms down, then we'll do it. Won't be today, though.
The wing dikes are sticking out. You can see the end of them even, just as an FYI.
So anyway, we'll get this checked out, and then we're going to head down to Oil Trough. There's actually a spot that hopefully the floods didn't get the boat ramp all nasty. And it's Ferry Boat Ramp. There used to be a ferry that goes across there in by Oil Trough.
Yeah, it's up the end of Main Street in Oil Trough, right?
It's just called Ferry Road.
Okay.
On Ferry Road, there's a ferry crossing, old ferry crossing, and it has a boat ramp there. We're going to try to see if I can turn the boat around. If not, then I'll just back it up all the way down the street and then get into that water there. Hopefully we can get into Oil Trough that direction. If not, that's going to be on something on our next trip. So we'll get this checked out, and then we'll see you on Oil Trough. All right, so here is a camp or a rest stop. Every time we do something like this, we're searching for somebody, always get out and check underneath. She would really had to have did a maneuver to get here. We got Salado Creek right here. Just want to check it. Just kind of get an eye on it. Look underneath. Because there's actually a road access right there. Goes off of there and turns right. Right-hand turn. We're gonna try to put the little buddy in here tomorrow. always look different possibilities. I don't visually see anything. Doesn't mean there's a little creek up there, so that's basically the start of it. Okay, so trying to get an oil trough was a failure. There was huge logs, as you guys seen on of the drone shots. Horrible. We got online last night and looked, and we were like, oh, there's another boat ramp, ferry boat ramp. Awesome. It's like a football field length long to the deal. As you guys see, there's a tractor behind me. They're actually going to clean this off. They're going to clean this off for us so we can use it. It's super slick and real thick, and I didn't want to get the trailer all screwed up in it. This guy, Pat. Pat, who are you with? Are you with the city?
Yeah, I'm fire chief and with the city.
Well, I just want to say, appreciate everything you're doing. It's got the tractor. We're going to get that cleaned up.
Yeah, and got a hold of our instructor, and I told him to grab our big truck, bring it down here. As soon as we get all this silt mud off the ramp, we'll take the truck and wash it down.
Thank you, Pat. So awesome, we'll be able to get it down in there. This has been the best boat ramp in this area right here. So
I talked to the mayor a while ago,
yeah.
And as soon as I get done doing this, we get this one washed off, I'm gonna go down here under the bridge.
Wash that off.
Bridge,
yeah, you guys had a huge, I guess I guess water was all the way up to here, wasn't it?
Yeah, it gets all the way up. We'll come across the road right here too.
So, well, we'll get this all cleaned up, and we'll... Thank you, Oil Trough Fire Department. Whoop, whoop. Look at how nice and pristine this is. Ooh, I'm gonna bust my butt right here though. That's slick. Pat, you're a miracle worker, bud. Heck yeah. Thank you, buddy. Don't get me. All right, once again, a huge shout out to Pat from the Oil Trough Fire Department for getting us access to that boat ramp. They cleaned it off pretty amazing, and it was easy getting down. I don't know what the heck that thing just did. So there is a road up here that we're gonna check. Then we're gonna head back down, check this boat ramp because when we got in, I didn't want to, because there's a berm there, I didn't want to screw it up. We're going to check up here, and then we're going to head on down, check this boat ramp, and then check oil trough. The front of oil trough where it meets, what, Route 14?
I think it's 14 through oil trough.
Yeah. So thanks again, Eric, for being with me. If you guys haven't checked out Eric from Ride or Dive, check him out, please. He's actually did some pretty awesome things yesterday. So that was a pretty advanced dive.
It was crazy. The more I think about it, I'm like, that was nuts.
Yeah.
That current was ripping.
Yeah, that was definitely not a fun dive by no means. I'm glad you did it and not me.
Here's Mike McFerrin when you need him.
Right? All right, guys. We'll keep you updated when we're searching. Thanks.
We are back on the search for Miss Belva Day. This is day 2 of our search. Miss Belva, again, she went missing on February 6th. She was seen paying her electric bill in Mountain Home. Later on that day, she had made her way all the way down to the Southside Charter High School in Southside, Arkansas. That's just below the just below the White River, Batesville, the river, and then you have Southside. They do believe that that is her vehicle. Every sighting, they've been able to confirm whether it was via the XM Sirius radio antenna that sit on the back of her car, the black Ben Eddy's license plate on the front, or her very unique license plate, USADOGN. It's a Korean War veteran license plate. After that, there's been no official sighting. There was a potential sighting in Pleasant Plains, Arkansas. However, the video is so grainy that they're only able to differentiate between a truck, a van, and a car. But they can't even tell the difference between a Cadillac and a Subaru. That's how grainy the video is. So with that being said, we started yesterday up in Batesville on the White River. We've searched that area above the dam. We then searched yesterday in Newport because we didn't have access to oil trough. The reason that we were so interested in oil trough is because there is a part of the road where 14 and the river really do meet. You can literally sit in your car and throw a stone and hit the water. So if Miss Belva was traveling through here, especially at night, there's the potential that she could end up in the water before she even realized that she was off the road. So we are incredibly grateful that the Oil Trough Fire Department was able to come down today. There are 2 boat ramps in Oil Trough. Both of them, one is covered with debris, whole trees. This one was covered with about 2 foot of mud. They came down today, scraped this whole entire boat ramp off for us, sprayed it all down with the hoses, and got us access. We do know that on the bend up there where our area of concern is, there are 2 vehicles. There is a truck and then a car that went back in 1967. So we do know that there are 2 vehicles, but if there's a third, then that's definitely going to be a cause of concern for us. Eric is going to be our diver today. He'll be getting back in the water. Thankfully, the water up here, since this part of the White River is right before where the Black River meets it, this part of the river is much calmer. The visibility is much greater. We don't have the debris flow that we had like he had to deal with yesterday. So we are currently on the White River. We're going upstream right now because we want to check. There's one road that does come down and come into the river, so we want to check that first before we head back down and go into the actual city of Oil Trough.
All right, so this road, there's actually a road coming off of Ferry Road that goes straight across here. I guess whenever they took the ferry down, they built the road across here at the smallest point. But if she decided that she could cross this, it, at the time didn't have any water on there. So maybe we'll just check this out. Maybe there's a possibility of her being in here, which is still 20 feet of water. So we're good on that. So we'll get this checked out, make sure there's nobody in here.
Smooth water is not good water. Not when you've got crazy water around you.
I don't mind the smooth water. It's getting from the transition to the smooth to the...
So that's what I'm saying. Smooth water is not good water.
Whee!
now, if you go on Google right now, and you look at this spot, you can see that road, and you can see where you've got room on each side. But that's where the road ends right there.
The sonar screwed up.
Huh? Yeah. But yeah, so the road literally ends. As soon as you come across that, that's it. And then, I mean, there's like a little 2-track into a field right here, but the road portion is... I'm assuming that was probably built more for that farmer to have access across there.
Yeah.
And not...
All right, I'm going to try to do this while recording. I did not see. Did you see anything on there?
No, you've got a big, huge boulder right here. Huge boulder. But
Yeah, I see that
I think
boulder.
that's just probably...
No, that's definitely a boulder.
I think that's just where it's come off.
All right.
That's the only
Nothing there.
thing. Okay.
We're coming up on something. I want to double check. It looked like a truck, but then again, it looked like a log. I'm actually going over it with my down scan right now. One of the spots, and it looks like it's a big tree. But if you look on the right, coming up, it looks like it's got to be a big tree. I think that's a tree. Yep. Big old tree. I don't see any cars beside it or underneath it, but I wanted to double check. Alright. I actually see it right there. Oh, it's just a tree. Okay.
Alright, so we have finally made our way down to this bend in the river, and then where it straightens out, that's 14. We are going to make our way all the way down this. We were told that like every time it rains or floods or anything, that it just erodes away more, correct?
You can see it right there, how it's eroding.
Yeah. And then, is there anything, what do they do for that?
Just drop rocks, or if it's not going to impede the road, then they won't do anything. But they usually drop rock and get a levee so it doesn't erode even more, or it'll erode that instead of the ground.
So this is also the area in which they've told us is a truck. And then in 1967, there was a gentleman who put his 1967 car in the water. It was, what, 6 months old, they said?
Yeah, there was someplace here where they were all drinking, and he left the bar and wasn't in reverse.
What kind of car was it?
He didn't say, he just said it was a 67.
Oh.
There's really not too many things that 67 wise that were bad though.
No.
So we did pull off right up here. There's like a big gravel drive right here. So we pulled off there yesterday. Jacob walked down this way just to see, if we could get an idea of the river right here. There really wasn't anything. There wasn't like tracks or anything, but because that road is so close to the water, she could have been in the water before she even realized that she was off the road. There was also, right after she went missing, all of this was flooded. I mean, you guys can see there's a huge pile of debris right here. So the water was at least that high, if not higher.
Do you see all the rocks that I'm talking about?
Yeah. So this is going to be a really, really rocky bottom. Jacob's going to have his work cut out for him. But right after she disappeared, it flooded through here, or rained so much that it flooded. and then snow and ice. So again, you guys can see the shoreline here on how high some of that water was. We are at 20 foot. So on the other side of the boat ramp, it was about 20 to 26 feet. And then you get to this section where it's about 4 foot, and that's where they were telling us that you can wade across it. And then you get back into this curve right here where you're again back to 25 average.
Yeah, and if you look, you see those cars, you can see the tops of the cars. Like you can almost see the whole car.
Yeah. I'd say some of those ones that, especially if they're going that one direction, you can see like the door panels and everything on them. So
it actually is better that I have all of this rock than it being mud, because this rock is going to show that car pretty good due to the fact it's not going to be able to sink into the mud. So it's actually better that we have the rock. It's going to be difficult to find it, but it'll be better searching wise because your shadow is going to be a lot more prominent. Nothing yet.
that was a good word, buddy.
What, prominent?
Proud of you.
Ah, jeez. I'm not dumb. I may not be smart, but I'm not dumb. This is one of the most probable spots. The possibility of her running off of here is, it's crazy how close this road is. So it's good that we're searching this. And again, I can't thank the fire department enough. The oil trough fire department is pretty awesome.
We're going to take this at least down, just past the boat ramp that we tried to access yesterday, which is just off of 122. There is a bridge. Not sure if you guys will be able to see. Way down there. There's a bridge down there. That's the boat ramp that we tried to access
There's something
yesterday.
on the left down there. You see that?
Yeah. That's the one we tried to access yesterday.
I don't like
and
it.
it was completely covered, all kinds of debris, old trees, mud, everything. So we want to make sure that we get down to that, because that part of the road right there on 122, it's not like a hard turn. You just kind of veer to the left. So again, one of those spots that we want to make sure that we check.
Go back on there and show them what I'm talking about. So right there to your left. Yep.
So that's what we're doubling back and checking.
We'll check it more on the live scope than on the sonar. I got to get in a little bit more, but we should be going over it very shortly. That was just right off that rock into the sand or
I'm
mud.
40 feet off the rock, so if that tells you anything.
I'm trying to go in a little bit. I'm trying to get. Should be right over top of it. Right about here. Yeah, right here. All right, this is the area where I seen it. So there it is, right there.
Is that the truck?
It looks like an old car.
It's an old truck. On side scan, down scan, on there it looks like a truck, unless it... Wish they would have told us what kind of car went in the water. I don't think they knew.
was difficult. See if you can't push those buttons and see if you can get like an angle around it. See if it's in a car or if it's a truck. Oh, back it up. It looks like a truck. Yep, it's an old truck. Okay. All right, they're not going to deal with that right now.
Again, the truck and the car, they are aware of. So we're not going to
Oh yeah, look,
mess with them right now.
went right over top of it. See that, Eric?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna keep making our way down here. If we find anything else, we'll be right back with you guys. But with all the rock and stuff, just wanna make sure that we're not missing anything. Is there, back there?
Here's an older vehicle here.
I'm pretty sure that's the car. Or maybe that's the truck and the other one is the car.
So far we have found 2 vehicles. 1 truck, 1 car. They have been dove on. If I do find another truck or a car here on this bend where they said it was, that's the confusion that I'm having, because he said on the bend. The bend is up here, not back there.
The bend in the river back there?
Is that the bend? What is
Yeah.
that? What do you got there?
I think it's probably something like that tree or something that's come off.
Might go back over that one. But we are going to make several passes, and we're going to spend a lot of time here. We're able to get here. We're going to make sure that this is as done as we can get it. Again, we're not perfect. We can miss things. But we're going to check it thoroughly. Right now we are currently at Oil Trough Boat Ramp. The boat ramp that we could not get access to yesterday. Lindsay, did you know that the fire department used 3,000 gallons of water to wash that? They used that whole tanker to wash that boat ramp. 3,000 gallons, that's a lot of water.
Well, why was there mud still on the ramp then?
Well, they weren't gonna make it freaking perfect for us. They did a really good job, but 3,000 gallons, that's crazy. And it didn't take them very long. They're supposed to clean this. Not supposed to, but they said they were going to. They probably got a call or something.
Or they're refilling 3,000 gallons of water.
Or they're refilling 3,000 gallons of water, yeah. But regardless, we're able to get this search, so I am very, very, very happy about this.
This is the boat ramp that we were telling you guys about yesterday that we had tried to get access to. If you guys look, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 big trees right across it. The debris is all the way up, so that debris tells you how high that water was.
With the old timers here, I said that corner was going to be up there by the other boat ramp was going to be shallow, then it goes into the deep. This one, they said it was going to be about 10 foot deep, so they're pretty accurate with it. There's an awful lot of debris and shadows here, so we're going to definitely have to concentrate on this area. I think we're going to go down. What do you think? Do you think to that other turn?
Yeah. Or whatever that. So we're right in front of the boat ramp here. There was something where right here, there's kind of like where the boat ramp comes out, and then you've got this wall right here. It's kind of creating a little bit of an eddy, and it's kind of pushing us around. We're trying to see if we can get back on top of it. Not sure if it was a vehicle. We think it's a rock, but we don't want to leave here and say, oh, we don't know. So we're just trying to double check everything.
All right, there's nothing there. Okay.
I think we must have just caught a rock, and then that's also when we had to start backing up because we were at shore. So it elongated it.
Probably what we did. All right, I'm gonna go straight across this bridge,
Okay.
and then on the other side, it looks like that tree is on ground. So if I start seeing 2 foot, I'm backing out.
Okay. So this is that rock this is that tree that Jacob's talking about. When we were kind of trying to find a good clear path, making sure, I mean, we're getting deeper, surprisingly.
Maybe a big tree.
Yeah.
Or maybe right on the edge of that where the sand has got around the eddy, it's made it shallower.
Yeah. Oh, and that root edge could be dug down in.
Current's strong.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, come on. Well, there goes my perfect path. Make sure I don't hit the back
Here
of
we
it.
have the pillar. We got trees and debris in front of it.
Still 17 feet.
Yeah.
That's good. We're definitely going to have to go back through that area because I did not make a good pass through, but we still made a decent one. All right. Nothing so far.
Another tree.
Yeah, it's starting to get shallow. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm going to hit that. Nope. But I've definitely got to get over.
You get deeper again.
Okay.
Drop back down. You're okay. Just must be some kind of push from the bank and then from the pillars and everything else that have pushed it up there. So we are making another pass through here a little bit farther off from the bank. Just want to make sure that if she did come off anywhere in this road and she got pushed out a little bit farther, that we'll be able to see that vehicle. So we're just, again, a little bit farther off the bank, but this is still the White River, Route 14 right here. This is so incredibly close to the road. So we are probably, I don't know distance. I don't even know why I try to estimate. We're farther out than we were before. That's all I can tell you.
Within 100 feet.
We are averaging 32 to 34 feet right now. We are starting out day 3 of our search for Belva. Today we are going to be focusing on Route 167. She was last seen passing Southside Charter High School going south on 167. So we're gonna follow this road. There are a few ponds. We kind of did a little recon yesterday on checking to see what was accessible. There are a few that have no fences, are open to the road. So those are gonna be the ones that we focus on today. Anything that has a fence that is completely intact with no kind of disturbance or anything, especially like no disturbances in the ground, mud, anything like that. We're gonna mark those off. That doesn't mean that they won't get searched. It means that we won't focus on them today. So Eric currently right now is flying the drone over a few different ponds. What that does for us is allows us the opportunity to know if we need to get the little buddy out. A lot of times ponds that are on private property they tend to be a little bit more shallow. The water clarity here has been fantastic, so we should be able to see, do we need to search it, do we need to not? So again, Eric's flying the drone currently, and then we'll just keep moving on down. Our hope today is to get down to Little Red River in Searcy, just because 167 leads all the way down there until you get to where it splits between, I want to say like 57 and then turns into 367. But she wouldn't have to turn before any of that. So again, we want to try to work our way down there today. We'll get the little boat in the Little Red River and maybe provide some answers today. Called Powers Creek. On the other side of the road here, there's actually on Google Maps you can see where there's like a truck pulled over. Obviously Powers Creek is not deep area, but just in the sense that if something happened, she went down, veered off the road and into this kind of like creek or wooded area. Jacob's even gonna go check underneath the viaduct, because we have had that happen before, to where a car flipped and went under the viaduct and nobody could see it. So he's down there checking out all of that.
All right, so we're looking completely underneath here. I about fell.
Nothing under there.
Nope. All right. On 167, we're hitting this corner pond. There's two ponds together. It's literally a foot deep. You can see the ground with the drone. We'll show you. We'll show you all these ponds that we're looking at. So there's no disturbance on anything that we've seen so far.
Here's the next pond up. Still super shallow right there. This is the part next to the road.
So while we were flying, sorry, the audio's not gonna be the best because I don't have a mic on. While we were flying, Eric was just flying this way. They were checking a pond over this way. And in the process, just kind of flew over this grove of trees. We've been trying to check ravines and things like that. And he did see a vehicle in the woods here. It could be just the property owners. You know, the property owners, it could be one of theirs, like an old vehicle or something, and just kind of, they just dumped it out here, use it for parts later. But we did fly. Jacob is currently back in this grove of trees. Eric walked out here, just to see if he could see anything.
The only spots I couldn't see through are this thicket right here.
Yeah. So again, we are currently going to go back to the RV, get a new battery in the drone, get it up in the air, and find what Eric saw on the camera earlier, and then we'll be able to lead Jacob to it. He said there is that little pond back there, like a little fishing hole kind of thing. But I do think that if she would have turned on any one of those driveways back there, she could have made it back through there. So, all right, we'll be back with you shortly.
All right, so seen something on the drone off the road on 167 on a bend. Didn't see anything visually, or couldn't tell what it was. So we decided to walk into the woods here. It's a homeless encampment. Not an encampment, but it's a homeless shelter. So, right off the side of the road there, into there. So, check that off the list. .367, where the Red River goes along this bridge. There's actually two bridges here. There's one here and there's one over there.
There's two, she said.
Yeah, and see if we can get this search with the little buddy.
He can drive.
All right, we're going to see about this. I think we shot if it's 25 feet, I would feel more comfortable putting the boat in, but trying to get the boat in would be a different story.
Clean bottom, with the exception of maybe like a couple of rocks or a couple of logs that have kind of built this little ridge, but it's really, really small, so nothing that is indicative of a vehicle. Obviously, Jacob has much better sonar eyes than the rest of us, so he'll usually review everything. And on to the next spot.
Flat ground.
Yeah. There's only like one spot. I'm pretty sure it was like either rocks or log or something. Just kind of build up like this small little berm in there. It's not.
Nothing in here. From right there. Anyway.
So following her kind of pattern of travel, with staying on the same road until she kind of has to turn or comes to a stoplight or a red light where she again now has the choice to turn, she turns right. So in doing so, that has brought us over onto Route 13. We are in front of the VFW post 2330. We have the Little Red River right here, and then there is a pond right over on the other side of that cannon over there that is accessible. So Jacob's got the drone in the air right now. He's checking both of these locations just to see access wise, is that pond even deep enough? And he's going to check the Little Red River to see what its accessibility is as well. As many of you know, Miss Belva Day went missing on February 6th from her home in Mountain Home, Arkansas. She was able to be tracked via security and ring cameras all the way to Southside, Arkansas, where she seemingly vanished after that. Chaos divers came in and we searched for 3 days searching for her. We focused on the White River all the way to Newport, as well as all of the ponds and bodies of water all the way down 167 and 367 into Searcy, Arkansas. Unfortunately, at that time, we were unable to provide answers to her family as to where she was. We did have to return home to our own families at that time. We did just receive word a couple of days ago on March 6th that Miss Belva had been located. Unfortunately, is not the answer that we were hoping for, in that Miss Belva has passed on. Miss Belva Day was located on Little Rock Air Force Base in Jacksonville, Arkansas. Her car was crashed into a ravine on a very remote part of the base. She was discovered by a maintenance crew. With this tragic event unfolding into a conclusion that no one wanted, we are grateful that her family now has answers and can lay her to rest properly. We want to thank all of you and all of the other search teams who came out and as a community came together to search for someone that they didn't know. Once again, Arkansas has showed up for their people, and all of the love has been felt by so many. We want to thank all of you for your continued support. For more ways to follow us and support, please check out chaosdivers.com. As always, keep diving. It's not worth it to stop. Love you, bye.